What's going on, guys? Keegan here from Punisher's Paintball. I'm here with media guy Doug.
What's up?
And today we are reviewing the all-new HK Army TFX 3.
If you guys happen to enjoy this video, definitely make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll have a link in the description to pick up one of these bad boys if you should decide that it's going to be yours and in your gear bag. We'll catch you after the intro.
Alright guys, so getting right into this TFX 3 overview and unboxing. This is the boxing that you'll get whenever you order one. It's pretty basic, just has kind of the logo, the HK Army logo.
It's attractive, it's consistent with their branding.
Yeah, it's not bad. Kind of got some of the core features on the side of it, so pretty basic. Opening it up, I do like how they do this.
Nice presentation.
We'll just actually set that aside for now.
That's for later.
And underneath this piece, if you'll actually want this, there is...
Where'd it go? Did it come out in the cardboard?
Yeah, it did. Take this stuff off. So you got your rain lid here, just kind of your basic TFX rain lid. Mm-hmm. I don't think that has changed at all from the TFX 2.
I still appreciate how they come with the speed feed.
Yeah. If you have a TFX 2, then you can use the rain lid or the speed feed that you currently have. You also have a USB-C here. This is actually because the TFX 3 comes from the factory with a rechargeable battery. Wow. It does not take AA's or 9 volts.
Okay.
It's not a additional upgrade that you can do like the N charge. It just comes with a rechargeable battery, which is nice.
So there's no way at all to take that out and have there be a battery tray, like for...
To my knowledge, no.
I hate that. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate
Some people hate it, some people love it.
We can go back and forth on that a little later, but for now, let's keep going over features, and this was just the rain lid.
Yeah. In the bottom here, you actually have a...
like an extender.
An extender for it. So this, they don't actually say how many balls it will hold with this extender in it. It says 230 normally, but it doesn't, see, it didn't say on their site. No. Oh, the 230 is with this. It actually only holds 180. But then this takes it to 230.
By the way, guys, we have Ansel from AZN Video hanging out in the background getting some B-roll. He's helping us out today, so I might have him kind of read this over just off the side of the camera just to see what he thinks. What do you think? So is it 180
this
then
is not
230?
going to add 180 balls.
Bro, they're tiny. You don't know.
This is not going to add 180 balls. You look at like an R2, how much that goes up. That thing goes up like this far, and it adds like 60
40
balls.
or 60, right? Yeah.
So...
That's true. So it's 180 then.
180 with
stock.
a 230 cap once you put this in, which is kind of low, honestly. Yeah, it says 230 right there as well. So.
You know what's funny is like it looks like such a big loader that would hold 220 on its own.
It does, but it's the way they designed it makes it so that it doesn't.
Interesting.
So, overall design is very similar to the TFX 2. I haven't had my hands on them all too much because...
We haven't gotten a lot of them in.
Yeah, most people around us are either Dye or Virtue loaders. Not many people use the TFX. So overall, the design is fairly similar. You have just your little latch for the speed feed here, and the speed feed will come out. I'd probably have to take the lid off, but you can just swap it. It's a quick swap, kind of like the Virtue loaders. Mm-hmm. So. Doug, first impressions of it?
If you hadn't told me that this was a new version of the TFX, I wouldn't have known. So at least aesthetically, it's pretty similar. But I mean, I think there's more detail with all this business up top here, which it's aesthetic changes. I feel like a lot of HK stuff when they re-release or make new, it's often more aesthetic changes than anything. From what I've seen over the years. But I mean, I like that they give you the option to extend it, and I like that it's not built in like the rotor, where it kind of makes it difficult to take it apart, and like if you break paint and need to clean it or something. I do appreciate that it stays this way. I don't love, though, how this totally looks thick enough that it could be a 220 on its own. It's just like, it feels like heavy.
It's the shell design, or the tray design.
It just feels like there's a ton going on in here, just a lot more than like say a Spire, just a lot of business in there. So
yeah, definitely. So that was the first new feature with the expansion. Mm-hmm. Then we have, I guess let's start breaking it in. That's where all the real new features are.
Right.
The back, turning it on and off is exactly the same.
And your unjam button as well.
Yeah, you have your unjam button right here that'll reverse it to unjam it. Taking it apart is the same way. I'm not huge on this clip design here they have.
Oddly similar to another very popular loader that's out there.
It is fairly similar. So right here is your tray. It's pretty basic. I mean, the only kind of unique thing that they do with it is they add this little part that goes down that just adds, so it's kind of like a rain lid, but it adds a few more balls.
Interesting.
The one thing that I noticed on the older TFXs, this actually goes down way further, and I think
That might have something to do with the lessened capacity.
well, when I was taking this apart, if I can get this out, when I was taking this apart, it's because they have like their battery and everything inside of there, and so it kind of just latches up there. So right there is actually where you recharge it. That's another one of the new features, if I didn't say before, is that it has the rechargeable battery.
Yep.
You can test the battery charge to it. It's kind of difficult to see, but right there, if you can maybe see that. All right, so HK says that they did some new programming to the actual board. The board itself, you can't really, there it is. Right there on the back, you kind of have two boards actually. One for their new eye system, which is what it relies on now, kind of like the Spires.
Spire IR series.
Yeah, right there. Every time I put my finger in it, it's going to stop. So it relies on an eye system now, which is kind of nice. I know that the IRs heavily rely on it, and it's a solid system for them. So we'll see how that goes with the TFX3.
Mine has always worked.
Yeah, same here. I still got one. My brother uses it, so he's never had any issues with it, not feeding or anything. The other main change that they made was to the actual drive system here. They actually have a soft fin drive system, which is very similar to the Spire. So to get it out, you have this little button here, or this little pull tab that you kind of spin, and then this, if you put it on right, should just pop out, just like that. This one, I believe comes with it. It's right there. That is like almost identical.
That's
if you throw a cone on it.
Yeah, the drive cone for the spot. That's
yeah.
Y'all are cutting it close.
Yeah. However, it's proven to work for the Spire loaders, so this loader may be.
Just from I've played with a couple dudes that use the TFX loaders. I've not seen them really have problems, but again, I don't see everything. I'm not playing in every state across the U.S. right now, so
yeah.
How often have you seen or heard of people having jamming and stuff, like issues with the TFX in the past?
I actually only know one person that's actually used one for that long, and he never had any issues with it.
Yeah.
So it was the only white loader he'd get at the time. So
I mean, listen, even just because a lot of these features, as we're calling them out, might be similar, might have been kind of seen before. Really, it's still a good thing for HK to offer something like this because there are people that want to stay loyal to the brand. There are people who maybe are using almost an entirely HK setup, but they don't love the HK speed and they use, say, maybe a Spire.
Yeah.
This totally gives them the option to have a lower profile hopper that, in my opinion, is more attractive than the HK speed, but also high functioning. I actually still don't think this is a bad option at all.
Yeah. Other thing to note, price point.
Yep.
These loaders come in at $249.95, so it's right up there with the control loader. R2 is going to be a bit cheaper, and then also the Spire 4 is going to be $250. So based off the price point, they're wanting to compete with those high-end loaders.
Yep.
And I think that this could be a decent contender. My only real stopping factor would be how big the loader is and how little it holds.
Yes.
It's a very big tray.
I don't mind the size of it. The two things that I am going to roast it for is not holding a lot of paint. You got about 40 balls more than a pod. And I don't like that you can't put any actual like changeable batteries in there. I just don't. I don't love rechargeable things. And I get that now things are to a point where you can just plug it in your car on your way to the field. But I don't know, man. For like if I'm going to a tournament or something, and say if you make it to finals, you're using that thing all day. And I mean, sure, it'll work for the first couple of years, and you won't probably have too many battery life issues as long as you're diligent about charging before the event. But batteries don't last forever. They eventually start to lose life and lose juice. I would hate to count on something like that when it really matters, like toward the end of an event. So I don't love that. I think that was a mistake on their part to not give you any option. But obviously, Keegan here is trying to put on the expansive shell. Maybe you have to take this out.
Unscrew it. I was hoping that I could put it on, kind of show you guys how much bigger it gets with it, but
That's what she said.
it looks like I am going to have to unscrew these, so I don't have a screwdriver on me.
So
but that's
we won't
kind
do that for today,
just
but
basic.
and again, that looks similar to something else.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like I'm roasting it. I'm really not. It's just it would be ignorant to not call it out.
Yep.
But I mean, end of the day, I would use this if I still had to. If I was with a team that was HK sponsored and I got my choice of which loader.
I'd much rather use this than the Speed.
Yeah, me too.
Overall build of it is just much better in my opinion. So.
And like we said, we have yet to really see people have problems with this platform before. So, and I mean, here's the thing: as far as paint capacity goes, maybe people don't care about that as much because the Control is wildly popular.
Yeah.
And it's known for not having a lot of capacity.
Yeah.
So
personally, for me, it's not necessarily the paint capacity. It's that the loader is pretty much as big as a Spire 3 or 4
without all the space inside.
Yeah.
And it feels heavier to me. Our scale is still broken, but in the spec list, it was
1 pound, 1.6 ounces with the battery is what they said. So
there is a weight difference between TFX 3 and the Spire 4. TFX 3 is 1 pound, 1.5 ounces versus, we already thought about this off camera, but Spire 4 is 1 pound, 5 ounces. So, Keegan, which one is heavier?
TFX is going to be a bit heavier. I think that's partially because of the shell, or not the shell, but the tray design is much bigger than the Spires. The Spires is very low profile tray. This has a little bit more meat to it.
It's just more dense. There's so like I think they would take up about the same amount of room, but so much of the space inside the TFX3 is used for whatever makes it function, as opposed to the Spire. They just maximized actual paint space. So it's not really that much of a weight difference, but if you're really splitting hairs and need to like make it work for flight purposes, then sure.
I know there's some people out there that are like, I need to have the absolute lightest thing possible.
And they shoot a carbon fiber barrel and they can't dive in the snake and they bend it and then they end up buying an aluminum one again anyway. So yeah, it's
overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with the TFX. Feels well built. Doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart on you.
No.
I know that taking off this clip here was actually like kind of a little bit tricky to get off, so it's not going to pop open. I know that a lot of people have problems with like the Control where they're worried about it popping open.
Yep.
Shouldn't be an issue here. It has an actual like locking
latching system
mechanism that stops it from coming apart.
Yeah, if he pulls any harder on that, it's going to come out of his paycheck, so it's not.
Yeah.
But guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know in the comments below. If you've picked one up already, definitely let us know how they're performing out on the field. And if not, there is a link in the description for you guys to get this right here, Punisher's Paintball. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please find us on Instagram and on Facebook, and we'll catch you in the next one.